gonna be terrible.
Hello and welcome back to Best of the Bottom. We're bottom class people drinking bottom shelf booze, and I am the Reverend JP.
And I am Diane.
She's still Diane. She is still Diane, and isn't she ever Diane? But on this week's episode, we will be reviewing Ty-Ku Liqueur. And is moderate drinking also harmful too? And you have, and we got an echo. Professional Diane.
Always.
But before we get the ball rolling, we do a little thing that we call what's in the shot? It's in the shot. It is the Bag of Doom. And in this bag, we have several random shots. We go to the local liquor store, and I tell them, hey, I need some random shots. Can you give me some random shots? I really need these random shots. Please, for the love of God, just give me some random shots. And I'm like, all right, man, geez, chill out. What do you want? I said, just random ones. I'm like, all right. And they grab all the random shots. They put them in this bag. Actually, put them in a different bag. And then I put them in this bag. And then we randomly select them. And that is why it's a Bag of Doom. Because we don't know if we're getting something good, if we're getting something terrible. We have no idea. But we don't have any shots that are over 99 cents. Dan, you go first.
It's a Smirnoff whipped cream flavored situation.
A Smirnoff with a creamy situation.
How come when you said it felt gross?
Because it sounded like a bad Russian porn. And I got this Ice 101 peach. Ain't it a peach? But cheers to another episode and to a new desk.
I've got weak hands.
Oh, all right.
I got it.
Waiting for...
I had to center my cheese and chakra, sorry.
Well, get them centered.
Got it.
To the new desk that we don't fit at.
Desk!
Yeah.
That we don't fit at.
So this week we were actually supposed to be together in the same studio podcasting, but I bought this new desk in hopes to give us more room. And yes, there is much more room to move around back here. But the way I intended to put it together isn't going to work for a situation where both of us are at the table. So now I'm probably going to take the whole desk apart and re-put it back together and do some arranging. And then maybe we can sit in the same table in the same room again. But until that day, well, shit. That's all I have to say. Till that day, well, shit.
Hopefully. Yeah, I don't know.
I was adjusting your mic volume a little bit because for some odd reason today you got more echo than you normally do. I don't know what your deal is. Why are you so fucking echoey? But you are.
I don't know.
Less
clothes on the floor in the room than normal. I don't know.
Oh, that's probably it. You cleaned up your room.
That's a situation.
Well, why the hell did you get all the clothes off the floor before we're going to do the podcast?
You know, I do have a laundry basket I could just toss and just kind of
Just kind
spread
of
out
spread it about.
if
It's
that
too
would
late
help.
now. It's too late now.
Okay.
But just real quick, if you enjoy our show, you can find all of our social medias and links to everything that we do at paracoproductions.com. If you're watching on YouTube, please give us a like, share, subscribe, and help us grow. We also have audio versions available at bestofthebottom.podbean.com. And I think I'm still behind on uploading new episodes. So stand by. I will get those squared away momentarily. I just am bad at my job because I'm doing too many things at once. But the way we like to get things rolling, we do a little thing called the Florida Man. And as the Florida Man, what we do is we find a random headline that happened on this date in Florida. We read the headline and we make up the story. I don't read the story. She doesn't read the story. We just go based off the headline and we try to figure out what possibly happened. So join us as we figure out what happened on this date. A Florida man was arrested for standing in a sunroof while driving down the interstate. Well, this is very simple. His heart will go on. That's, I mean, you know, he was king of the world. He just felt the sea breeze in his hair, and he was just, and my heart will go on. I don't know. That's my Celine Dion. There you go. You know, I mean, I'm pretty sure he had a blue gemstone on his chest. You know, it just, look, man, I don't know what year it was, but this man just watched Titanic and he was just feeling that moment. It was just deep within him. And he just wanted to be in touch with the sea air and just living life. And you know what? He can't afford a cruise. He's a Florida man. So what better do you do than open the sunroof to your 1992 Geo Metro and just let your heart go on? You let that heart go on, sir. Let it go. Let it go. I don't know the song, but you know, Frozen.
No one knows the song except for "Let It Go, Let It Go."
Oh, that's all we know is "Let It Go, Let It Go."
And I don't care. We could go on, but also we won't.
We could go on, but we won't because
we don't know the song.
Yeah, why would we know the song? Do I look like a Disney kid? Yes. Have I watched Frozen? Nay. Dan, what's your opinion on this Florida man? How do you feel this happened?
I feel like I like, again, I got caught up in your thing, imagining that. Then I realized he was driving. He's the one driving. Like,
yes,
he's alone. I'm imagining in this car all of a sudden. So at first I was imagining, yeah, like, what are you gonna do? You got a sunroof. You're feeling yourself. You're having a time of your life. Stand up, do that shit. But driving, well, now I think he's angry.
I mean, he probably had cruise control on. I mean, I never said he wasn't driving, but you can put cruise control on. You get into a straightaway.
I was imagining like this romantic, like, I don't know. I thought somebody was in control of the vehicle, you know. And
Jesus was in control. He said, "Jesus, take the wheel. Right. Take the wheel."
There are plenty of songs about it. You're right.
Yeah.
At all times, somebody has the wheel. Now, whether he decides to steer you into oncoming traffic or not, who knows?
I mean, you know, Jesus
always has that wheel.
He might have been feeling like a dick that day. I don't know. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to speak for Jesus. I mean, I am a reverend, but I don't feel like that's my place to speak for Jesus. I consider myself an Orthodox agnostic, which I just traditionally have no fucking clue if Jesus exists. And I hold up to all the the ceremonies and traditions of not having a fucking clue.
Yeah, so now I'm switching to this guy was angry.
Okay.
And, you know, sometimes you just gotta, you can't, rolling down the window isn't enough. You gotta stand up and be like, and what? Because
True.
first of all,
Ludacris said it best.
I don't care what you're doing. Like if we're in some road rage incident like that one I talked about a couple weeks ago, where I was like, I was about to kill somebody. Even if I was in that situation and that broad stood up while she was driving and stuck herself through the sunroof and started shooting, like not shooting at me because, oh my God.
That would be a whole different situation.
Yeah, but starts like talking shit to me, I'm going to be like, you know what? She's obviously more committed. I'm done.
That is true. Like, you know, like I said, Ludacris said it best. Sometimes you have to stand up and tell him, move, bitch, get out the way.
If she would have done that, I would have been like, you know what? As angry as I am right now, I'm not that. Whatever that is, like, I'm not that.
That's next level road rage. Oh, this bitch just stood up. Oh shit, she started clapping. Don't make me start clapping.
Starts clapping through the sunroof while she's driving.
Oh shit!
I'm done.
And I mean, we don't know if she's stomping too. She could be clapping and stopping. Oh shit! This bitch is mad.
Yeah, I would. So yeah, I don't know. Some shit happened. He wanted to be alpha, and I would say he was alpha.
She went alpha and omega on that shit.
Yeah.
If that was a road rage situation, I still feel like, you know what? He was probably watching Titanic on his little DVD player that he bought from Ross for $7.99 on sale, mounted it up on the dashboard, and that Celine Dion song came on, and his heart had to go on. He just could not contain it anymore, and he was cruising along the coast right there. He was on Highway 99. Was it? Yeah, Highway 98 right there, coming through Destin, and that sea breeze hit him, and all of a sudden, my heart will go on. And it was just, I'm king of the world, bitch. And then, bam, he hit a guardrail. Well, I don't know if he hit a hard guardrail, but you know.
Wow.
Oh, hey. Our favorite BLS transport team is listening. On our way back from El Paso. Why, thank you. Thank you for listening on your way back from El Paso. Please don't let your heart go on. I appreciate you guys. It's Sully and Eric, the Cruises cowboy. He apparently likes to go bareback. I don't know. That's what I just termed. He's a 575 cowboy, and he was in the chat a while back when I was playing some Destroy All Humans, and I just determined he's a 575 cowboy because he likes to go bareback in this town, and you better go see a doctor. I mean, chlamydia is afoot.
Wow, sir. I mean, welcome. Welcome to the stream. It's good to know you.
Welcome, and thank you for joining. I appreciate you guys. So, it's time to get to our review. Do we have more about heart going on in guardrails?
No, but like when you did tell them that you hope their hearts did not go on, it didn't feel very nice.
I'm just saying, I don't need that. They don't need to be driving down El Paso and sticking their head out the sunroof, which they don't have anyways. But still, I mean, don't let your heart go on. You know, don't be feeling that Celine Dion. I know it gets very emotional and moving sometimes. It happens, and you get carried away, and you start making bad decisions. Please don't do such things. We care about
counterintuitive, but don't let your heart go on.
Oh shit! They're gonna cut a sunroof in the trunk.
Oh yeah.
Somebody brought a sawzall. Oh, I forgot to give a proper presentation. Tonight, we will be reviewing Ty-Ku. So this is I'm going to read you what it says on the bottle. Ty-Ku, a premium liqueur, unites all natural exotic flavors with a premium unites all sorry, I had a stroke off for a second there. Ty-Ku premium liqueur unites all exotic flavors with premium Asian spirits to bring you a unique experience with a clean, crisp, refreshing taste, whether poured solo or combined with other spirits and mixers. Ty-Ku premium liqueur is best served with an active imagination. Best enjoyed chilled. Well, we didn't have time to chill it, so I think first off, we should start off with just pure, unadulterated Ty-Ku. Bazonga's O'Shea has made her return. As you can see, we got some nice little pasties on her. We finally convinced her to be modest. She was all and willing to do pasties, and all I could find was some Velcro. So she's got Velcro nips. But Bazonga's O'Shea is back with us again.
Can I see him closer? Oh, you know what? That's fine. You should paint some little hearts on there, and they could be like little.
Oh, that is a good idea. We will
Perfect.
Give you a try.
Will look like little fuzzy.
Wait, what's not cool? Oh, this not cool? Yes, it's not cool. It's warm. It's straight from the liquor store. I didn't have time to chill it.
Justin, help! I can't open. Oh, you got it.
Yeah, the little cap in here, I don't know if it did it for yours, but mine didn't stay properly secured, and it did some weird shit. Well, it's not beer, it's a liqueur. It's a liqueur. A liqueur. So, I think it'll be fine. If it's not, well, you know what? We live dangerously here. We live dangerously on this podcast, and if you're not with it, get with it.
Would you like to explain how we came to this today?
Oh, okay. So, yes. So, this evening, we went down to Kelly Liquor, which is our go-to spot here. So it's not too far from my house, and they're kind folks over there. They've already gotten to the point where when I walk in, they already know it's Bag of Doom time. Diane, when is the first 10? She's like, oh, are we doing random shots today? I said, yeah, we're just doing 6 for now. We had a whole long chat about New Mexico banning shooters. So they gave us the 411 on coming in before July 1st. They're going to do a big old discount. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to walk down there and I'm going to make how many shots will $40 get me? Maybe $50. I don't know. But that's the plan right now. So we were clueless. I was trying to think of different things to review tonight, and I had a few ideas. I still have some Pinnacle whipped vodka, and I got some orange stuff, and I was thinking about making some creamsicle shots and all this other stuff, but that might have been a little bit more complicated trying to get everything together. And then so we went up to the front and just said, hey, we're looking for something cheap to review because they're kind of familiar with our format. And so what she brought out is they got the Ty-Ku. They got these 375 milliliter bottles. They're $4.99 right now. So she's like, oh, got this for $4.99. And she's like, oh, it tastes pretty good. So, and it has a fancy bottle. So, you got the bouginess look of the bottle, but you got a cheapness of the liqueur. And there you go. You can be ghetto fabulous in just mere moments. It's just bougie F right here. Bam.
I'm going to keep this in my bathroom.
I'm going to keep this on one of the shelves back there, or over there, or over there. I don't know. I got lots of rearranging to do because I bought a desk. Woo! And I was thinking about this just a minute ago. We may have actually tried this in the Bag of Doom.
You know what? I think we have.
And we just never gave it its own spotlight, because I think I have tried this in the Bag of Doom. Now,
Yeah, I don't
what
think I have.
what episode is it? I don't know, because I was looking at it going Ty-Ku, but see, when you see it in the little shooter bottles, it's different than seeing it in this big old fancy bottle. And I'm not sure how much it is for the regular fifth. I want to say it's around $20, but I mean $4.99 for one of these. Can't beat it. Sometimes it's good just to go up. If you're at a liquor store and you're looking for something inexpensive and fun, just ask the clerk. Be like, "Oh, hey man, I'm throwing a party, or I'm having a little gathering, a little kickback, a little get together. I need some booze. What's inexpensive but looks kind of festive?" And bam, Ty-Ku answered the call this time. So be
Is that
friendly
what
with
you
your
asked
clerks.
for? Did you ask for something festive?
No, I said something fun to review. So, I mean, that could be festive.
Yeah.
And, you roll up with one of these, people are going to think you're fancy and think you spent a lot more money than you really did. Unless, I don't know, maybe the price goes up, might be like $10 on other days. I don't know. I don't work there.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm assuming it's. I don't know. I actually don't know if this is cheap all the time. But it seemed to me like something that they just had. That was
Yeah.
cheap.
Yeah. I mean, either way, it was, it answered the call when we needed it. I was just going to do a regular
So
shot,
thank
right?
you.
I was just going to do a regular
Thank
shot,
you
right?
to the person who suggested it.
Yes. Thank you to the clerks at Kelly Liquor.
Yes, you have given us this show.
You have changed our lives. Did you have a shot glass?
Yeah, I do.
Okay. Well,
Justice League, motherfuckers.
oh. Well, cheers to the
cheers.
folks at Kelly. And the return of Bazonga's O'Shea.
And the return.
Yes. We have tried this. At least I do remember getting this in one of the shooters.
This is definitely something you mix with something, I feel.
Yeah, I think it would add a little extra zhuzh to any cocktail you're making. It's very tasty. I enjoy it.
Again, if it was colder, though, it probably would have tasted so much better. And I might have been like, this is just shot territory. But since it's warm, I don't know. It really sucks. No, it doesn't really suck. Sorry.
I think it tastes fine as a shot, but it is definitely very chill, very mild.
I feel like the texture of it also kind of says, hey, put me in something else.
Yes, I'm an extra ingredient.
Yeah, it's kind of syrupy.
Yes, I think this will go well over ice. Like I said, the bottle says best served chilled, but Diane's bottle came with a little flip book that had a bunch of suggested recipes for it. And what we're going to do is try. Oh, my ice is melting. Is
the natural.
Yeah, the most basic recipe, which is just some of this,
some club soda.
Yeah, I did. I'm doing mostly the liqueur. God damn, I just spilled it on the desk.
Yeah, it says a dash of club soda. How much is a dash in your brain?
I don't know.
A dash to me is like elaborate. So if I try to measure it by my imagination, things are going to get wet. But
I went with probably 70% Ty-Ku, and then I threw just I don't know, just a little bit here. Because I'm using one of my mason jars, my little mason jars that I use to make our candy infused vodka, which you can see over on the YouTube channel at Perico Productions channel on YouTube. And you can see how I did the candy infusion, and then you can see our review of it also on the podcast on Ketchup. You can check it out right there on the Perico Productions channel. It's under the Best of the Bottom podcast playlist. Sounds like you're peeing in a cup.
Am I?
Yes. And then it said to do a little bit of lemon, but we got limes? What limes?
Yeah, we got limes just so Justin could quote a Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas.
Okay. Animated Object 97 asks, as a guy who enjoys spiced rum but dislikes whiskey, do you think I'd be interested in this drink? I do think you would if you like the spiced rum aspect. Now, granted, this doesn't have the same kick as a spiced rum because it's a lower alcohol content because it's a liqueur, not a rum. But it does have some of that gingeriness. Well, because it's supposed to be, there's some ginger in here and some other stuff. It's definitely sweeter. If you're on the sweeter side of things, like if you like a Sailor Jerry spiced rum, this might not be for you. Because Sailor Jerry has a lot more rum kick, but has that spiciness of like the cinnamons and nutmeg and think gingers and whatever they put in there. I think, Kraken. He is saying he enjoys the Kraken.
Kraken is really good.
Yeah, Kraken is good. It's definitely has a milder rumminess to it.
Super cute.
But I would say, like, if you want that extra kick of rum and stuff, like if you were to do this with maybe a flavored rum or a flavored vodka or something, over some ice. But like I said, we're about to tell you how this is going to taste with a little bit of lime. And then I did a dash of club soda, which I pretty much put just enough club soda to make sure it got fizzy. Is essentially what I did.
It's not even fizzy.
Well, put a little bit more. I got enough so you got the fizz.
Well, you said like you weren't putting so much, so I just figured like.
Well, I got a much smaller glass.
Well, that's true.
I tried to class it up and get a nice little small glass mason jar that's a little bit bigger than a tumbler.
See, and that's why you lose, like, head person or bottom class. Because look at you, you tried to class it up. You know what I did? I just grabbed something. And guess what it is? It's a coffee thing, and it's pretty decent size.
It says bottom class, and I'm using a mason jar.
Do you know what's pretty bottom class? Just grabbing whatever the fuck's in front of you and pouring booze in it.
That's true. And to be honest with you, you know what was in front of me? A small mason jar. Because I use this to infuse candy. And I also decided I should go with something glass so you could actually see what it looks like.
From here? Okay. There you go. Because from where I was looking, like...
Yeah, I was probably picking up some of the lighting.
It kind of looked like science. But,
science!
Okay, mason jar.
Might be better without the lime.
Oh, you know what? I didn't put mine in, so...
Jesus Christ! We're over here trying to follow recipes and shit, and they're just going off the rails.
Lemon, sir. Lemon. So...
Limes?
We're not following any recipes because you wanted to make your...
That's true. I did. I got limes just so I could go, limes?
I was asking him a question that had nothing to
Oh,
do
okay.
with anything.
Google said, this is from Animated Object 97. Google says, measured out in drops using a precise millimeter dropper like the ones used to dispense medicine, a dash is about 10 single drops. Fuck that.
But wouldn't you think a dash would be just when you go, ha ha, ha, like that really quick, like what the alcohol?
That's what I think is
'Cause
more of
that's
just
what I
like,
tried.
bloop.
Or like, since you can't hold it in your hand, you just kind of, you can't like dunk it, but like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I feel like hands are involved, maybe some mystic ways, and then just,
Somebody sacrificing a chicken and a goat.
you just feel it in your soul, and your arm goes, kind of like a flick and a release, and then whatever falls in your cup, that's a dash.
That's true. Maybe that's more of a splash than a dash.
Oh yeah, okay, I forgot. Yeah, those splash covers more of what I'm saying. But dash, I feel like a splash is a dash, but less classy.
True. Now, 10 drops may enough to get a tasting amount. But the thing is it's saying a dash of club soda. And the part of the club soda is to get the fizz. Now, of course, it wasn't saying, it didn't specify, like, are we just doing a shot and then a little bit? I don't know. I went a little bit bigger. Diane's got a fucking half gallon over there.
Well, I think because it said, like, you did read the part, right, where it says, is best served with an active imagination.
Yes, and our imaginations are active as fuck. If you didn't hear that Florida man, I don't know. You're in the wrong podcast. I mean, we are clearly imaginative. Especially last week's episode. I mean, I turned that shit around. That was a dark Florida man. Man was trying to pawn his baby at a pawn shop, and I turned that shit around. I created a whole fucking comic book series out of that.
You sure as fuck did.
Imagination.
I was sold.
I am SpongeBob in a glass.
So based off of that, you're gonna have more of a good time with this drink than I am, because your imagination is fantastic.
Yes. Honestly, I wish I had more ingredients in front of me. I mean, we might be able to cure cancer with this shit.
I have a series of paints.
I would not recommend paint with any liquor or liqueur.
It says non-toxic on it. Does that mean I'm fine to mix it with my alcohol and club soda?
I mean,
I'm further diluting it.
I'm pretty sure you'll be okay as far as you shouldn't get any weird growths, but I don't
even think about growth.
That's first thing. That's first that came to mind is, are you going to grow a third arm out of your forehead? I don't know. I'm just saying.
About death, you know. But now that we brought growth into the situation, I would rather not, you know.
I mean, it's safer that way.
It all sounds like fun when you're just thinking about live or die, but then when it becomes live with growths, and then
when you got a thumb growing out your cheek, that changes everything.
When you start adding stuff to it, yeah, that sucks.
I mean, yeah, once you're dead, you don't have to worry about anything. Your problems are over, all of them. But, you know, you got a growth in your face. You just added another problem to the list. And we got enough problems. Enough problems in this bitch.
I didn't fill up, by the way, I didn't fill up the whole coffee situation. It's just...
The Crucis Cowboys going bareback in the chat again. He's covering for Chester. So, but I think this does have lots of potential. And if you just got a bottle of this and chilled it and took shots, it'd be fine. Like I said, I didn't mention it's only 20% alcohol per volume. So it's half of what you're going to get with your normal. It's only 40 proof as opposed to most vodkas, rums, whiskeys are usually 40 at minimum. So, I mean, I enjoy it. I'd drink it again. I think it's very pleasant. I think it's fucking fantastic.
I think it's good. It's just clearly not made to be just drink.
Yeah, you know? I do think this is much better, with some other stronger kickers. And I think we may revisit this in the future with maybe some vodkas, some whiskeys, rums. We might try some different recipes. We might even follow some recipes that suggest there and maybe try to come up with our own. I do think this could be a very fun drink. It has a lot of potential. It's not bad, just a straight shooter. If you chill it, I mean, it's not too bad, even just regular, but I'm down like 4 flat tires and no spare. I mean, we've drank a lot worse shit on this podcast.
I'm just saying, put a little bit of water in it or something. It's got like it's not, to me, it's a little bit too syrupy, and that's what bugs me.
Yeah. Well, that's what we did. That's why I said the club soda. That's because you're
for sure
down, and you gave it the fizz.
I'm just saying, if you expect to take it on your own, it's not going to feel great.
Yeah.
It makes you feel sick just because it's like you're not supposed to take shots.
Yeah, if you were to drink this all night, you are going to have hangover. And the 575 Cowboy filling in for Animated Object 97, he's asking if we take recommendations. And the answer is yes. Like I said, if you ever are watching this podcast, you think of, hey, you guys should try this, put it in the comments. We also have a suggestion box. If you look on the Twitch channel, there is a suggestion box, or if you watch on YouTube, leave a suggestion, throw it in there. We are open for suggestions because sometimes we run out of ideas. That's why we asked the clerk today. We're like, oh, hey, what do you got? I try to come up with ideas anytime. So if you have a suggestion, throw it out there. I mean, if you got ideas, we're down. We're down. Like I'm all up for audience participation. Give us some. If it's something really terrible, definitely suggest it. Because terrible equals clicks, and we are looking for clicks. We're looking for views. I ain't gonna lie. I am a hoe. I'm a hoe.
I'll be honest.
For free, but I'll do it. There's a price tag for everything.
I'm tired of flavored things on this show. Like, I've had so many artificial flavored stuff.
That's true.
Just thinking about stuff makes me sick sometimes. Like,
oh yes,
I'm always like, please not a crappy, like, artificial flavored thing. I'm so sick of.
Okay.
Just. Bleh.
It's the only whiskey that Animate actually likes, and it's Pete Moss whiskey. We'll give it a try. We'll search it out. We'll give it a try, and like I said, I'm down for most anything. Anything for clicks and views. Anything that's gonna grow this audience, I will try it. I will try it. So
I will. Yeah. Yeah, I will also try it, but I will also be careful because whiskey and me do not get along.
That is true. Diane takes after our mother, and she gets a little feisty on whiskey. Like the
Yeah.
time she punched me in the face, she was drinking whiskey.
Yeah, let's not do that, you know. I'm all peace, love, and gap, but let's not.
Let's not throw
Let's not.
chingazos. Well, actually,
Let's.
you know what? If she punches me in the face, we'll get more views.
Justin, if I punch you in the face, I'm gonna try my best to make it look good.
So he says he's gonna get back on the exact brand, but tastes like you licked a campfire log. Okay, you know what? I'm down for trying a campfire log. I will lick a log from a fire.
I don't. At first, I was like, was that a good? Is that like a positive? And then I was like, you know what? I don't know. It makes me feel like, oh yeah, fuck yeah, I would love to drink something that tastes like a campfire log.
I think it depends. Do you like smoky things? If you like smoky things, then licking a log might taste great to you. If you don't, then I don't know. I don't know. I have no idea. I mean, everything's in the eye of the beholder. It's all in perspective. It's all perspective. But I'm definitely down for it. Oh, it tastes like you're by a campfire. See, now that sounds like a warm, happy memory. Sitting by a campfire with your closest friends and family, you know, you're roasting some marshmallows, and then all of a sudden a marshmallow gets out of control and it burns your face, and you run to the camper, and you're just freaking out, and then you end up with a mean old burn across your face. But you know what? You had fun because you were at the lake. And then your sister gets burned with a pot of coffee. This is a real memory. And not to mention, then a big rainstorm comes in, blows down the tent, floods out the other tents. Your cousin's just floating, it's passed out, just floating in a small little lake that has gathered within their campground because they put it down at the end of the camp. And then everybody ends up bailing out to anybody that's got an RV because the storm is just so hellacious. Then you go out on a boat. Your grandfather and uncle decide to go scuba diving. A storm comes in. There's tornado warnings. You're panicking. It's just 3 kids and a 99-year-old woman on a boat. Those are warm memories. But you know what? At the end of the day, we had Superman ice cream.
Dude, that'll fix anything. I love Superman ice cream.
You can only get it in Michigan.
You're talking about Superman or are you talking about Blue Lagoon?
No, the actual Superman ice cream flavor.
So we got Superman at Kmart.
But is it real Superman ice cream?
I don't know. Is it the multicolored one or are you talking?
Yeah, the multicolored one. It's a multicolored one. Well, it's not that it's multicolored. It's red, blue, and yellow. That's why it's called Superman. That's the official Superman ice cream.
I mean, maybe you could only get it there now, but that Kmart, dude.
Really?
Yeah, that's where I used.
I'm gonna have to go. There's no Kmart. There's no Kmart.
No, there's no Kmarts anymore.
Oh,
so that shit died.
Oh man, the Superman ice cream only available in Michigan. Oh, I'm feeling emotional now.
But the Blue Lagoon ice cream is.
Chester brought back some deep memories there, talking about campfires. Superman ice cream, Higgins Lake, 3rd-degree burns. And we found a drowned muskrat. There was a drowned muskrat that we found on the side of the lake. That was weird looking. We poked it with a stick. then we caught a crawdad and some newts. And the crawdad just kept cutting fries with its claws, just cutting fries. Because there was a little McDonald's a kiosk cabin down the end of the lake, and then there was a Dairy Queen little kiosk thing. Oh man, I was so fucking all right. I don't remember. I was so upset. Everybody got ice cream. Everybody got ice cream. I was doing something else. I think I had to watch All the Youngins, and then suddenly everybody's got ice cream except for me. So they bring me back. They go get me some ice cream. All they had was banana splits left, and I wasn't really down with banana splits, but I got it. And then as I'm walking back, I tripped and I dropped the whole fucking thing. I had to sit there and just watch everybody eat ice cream. Oh, dude,
And
that was
that's
devastating.
when you murdered your first victim, right?
I was 11 years old. I was so, God, I'm still just thinking about that. I am upset about that. Bastards.
That to me seems like a go crazy on people's ass.
Dude, like I took, because we barely made it there before they were closing it down, and they'd like sold out on a lot of their ingredients. I don't remember what the deal was, but I ended up with only a banana split, and I was like, "Oh, it's ice cream. I'll deal with it. Banana splits are decent." And I took like one bite, and I tripped, and I fell, and no ice cream for me. No motherfucking ice cream for 11-year-old Reverend JP.
Is that when you turned to God or when you turned away from God? Like, is this where? What part of the origin story are we at? This is where shit went bad for you and you turned away?
Honestly, I have no idea. That's the moment where I hated the rest of the family. At least for until I woke up the next morning, I hated everybody else because they had ice cream and mine was just smashed into the dirt. Oh. Poor little me. Like I feel that. I just feel that same sadness. I feel that sadness. Oh, it's devastating. That was devastating.
You like my pat?
Thank you.
I hope you felt it.
I did. I felt it through the internet waves. Pushing childhood memories aside, let's talk about a thing that I discovered. Okay, I don't know quite how I found my way to this never-ending rabbit hole of nonsense. So, as we've discussed before in previous podcasts, I have a tendency to fall down rabbit holes. And the latest rabbit hole I fell down, I found myself falling down a rabbit hole of there's a YouTuber called Fundy Fridays, and she talks about a bunch of evangelical Christian stuff and a bunch of like the craziness that happens. They talk about, the Bakers. The first one that I saw was talking about the Duggars because it was talking about Josh Duggar and his scandals with underage children and all the things that YouTube and Twitch doesn't like. Well, YouTube in particular doesn't like you to talk about. And then I found myself through all kinds of random stuff, and somehow we'll get back to the Duggars and all that stuff later. But somehow I found myself through reviews and stuff. I think it's because I do a lot of reviews. I watch a lot of reviews. But I found a review of this show called Peepadoo. Okay? And this is the only thing I can show you of that show. This is the only thing I can actually show you of the show. Because anything else is going to get us immediately banned from Twitch and YouTube in a mere moment. a mere moment. So, so I watched this guy's review of the show, and he talked about, there's actually some story arc. There's a lot of stuff, but the show is originally pitched as a sex education for adults. That's what it's pitched as to different networks and Netflix and Hulu and all these other channels. And I think somebody was going to pick it up, but they wanted to tone it down a bit. And so I was like, tone it down a bit. I'm gonna have to watch this. So I watched it. If you want to watch it for yourself, I'll put it here in the chat. I think it's I want to say it's bobbypills.com. I want to say this is what it's. I think that's the website.
I just typed in what is it? But Poopadoodle?
Peepadoo. Poopadoodle. But yeah, if you just Google Peepadoo, it'll take you to the website. So I decided to watch it and check it out. And the first one I watched, I was like, oh, what the fuck? What the hell am I watching? So it's called Peepadoo and the Super Fuck Friends. And at first glance, just watching, I was like, oh, okay, these people are just putting a guise of calling something adult sex education as just a moment to do outlandish, gross out humor. But I actually watched the show. So I'm trying to figure out how I can describe the things that have happened without getting us like in some sort of trouble.
The best way, well, I can describe the episode that I watched.
Okay.
It's delightful, first of all. From what I have seen. It's just, your typical average kids show character. Very, very cool, just going about life kind of naively. And then a rabbit's, I mean, first of all, there's genitals. Genitals like dicks are just chilling.
They're just out there.
Boobs seem to be covered, and I haven't seen any vagines, but it sounds like they might just be wait.
There. they make an appearance. Everything makes an appearance at some point.
But first episode is just Dick City. Flaccid.
Yes.
Just in case.
Just in case you're concerned.
But a lady's vegetable garden goes missing.
Mm-hmm.
Turns out they're in.
They were rabbits. They were rabbits,
and they were in the male rabbit's rectum. And it just basically teaches you, hey, talk to your partner if you're into this stuff. Don't steal their garden and shove it up their ass. And then also be careful. If you are going to shove sharp fruits and vegetables up your ass, there may be some, what would you say? What's the medical words? Rupturing of cavities. I don't know.
Yeah, there's some hazards. There's anal fissures to be aware of. There's some tearing. There's a lot of things to talk about. But if you're into it,
and part of the thing is, Mrs. Rabbit is like, hey, dude, if you would have just told me, dude, I love you. Like I would love to explore your sexual desires. Like, hey, holler at me. Don't steal my vegetable garden.
Yeah,
and then make me call the neighbors like an asshole, and then like make this a big deal. Hey, just talk to me, but kisses of love.
The show is very sex positive.
Yeah, and
real quick, animate throw down here. It's whatever that is, peat moss whiskey. Make a mental note of that. Oh, the drink will pop up if you search. All right, definitely gonna have to check that out. I'm gonna see if they got it at Kelly. Anyways, so back to the show Peepadoo. So it's a very it is sex positive. It's a very, like, when you hear sex education, you think about all the stuff they teach you in high school and kind of make you feel weird about things, and like they teach you the mechanics of stuff, but they don't, like, okay, so this goes back to all the I think this is how me piecing together how I got to it. So if you go back to a lot of the evangelical Christian stuff, they don't teach anybody shit about sex other than things go here. Like, apparently the Duggars didn't know anything about how sex worked until they get married. So this show kind of actually talks about, like, different kinks you might be into, stuff like actual sexual things, and it covers other stuff. Like, there's actually an episode where it's talking about where this polar bear named Kevin comes out as transgender, and then there's a bunch of episodes. There's a whole episode dedicated to STDs, and they have a cute song, and then a beaver dies from AIDS. There's a bunch of things happen, and it kind of, like, encourages you about, like, being an adult and, consenting sexual exploration, but tells you to be wise. But there's also some character arcs about it. Like, there's a water buffalo that is like the quintessential toxic male with a small penis, and he's, like, through some of the episodes you see him very, like, chauvinistic and everything else, and then, like, as it grows he kind of realizes the error of his ways, and all those little hippie things like that. So, not hippie things, but, like, all the things that you should kind of, like, grow as a person as. So there's some character arcs and stuff like that. And like she was saying, this episode talked about this bunny that, like, he discovered he was into shoving vegetables up his butt. It started with a radish, and then next thing you know, he's got the entire vegetable garden up there. And even Kevin, he was talking about he's no what did he say? Something about being an arrogant vegan or something like that. But it has a lot of little jabs at different stuff, and then it kind of has this whole overall arcing about, like, there's actually some legitimate education stuff. There's, like, an episode talking about, like, using Viagra, and apparently if you consume a lot of grapefruits, will make Viagra inactive. It will make it not work. And don't get me wrong, there's a lot of just, like, gross out humor just for the sake of having vulgarities in there. I mean, you could agree with that, right, Diane? The episode.
Oh yeah, like, don't get me wrong, this thing is, like, not
like this.
Because when you first described it to me at first, honestly, I thought this was, like, for people with I don't know how to say it. I don't know what's the proper terms, but I was going to say diminished faculties, like like, when you explained it to me, you were just like, it's for it's like sex education for adults. I was thinking, like, those of, like, whatever, and then just a whole bunch of or not fruit, but vegetables exploding out of a rabbit's ass was not,
Yeah. Now,
what I was expecting, but yeah.
I recommend you look it up for yourself. You judge it. As long as you're a consenting adult. If you're a minor, you probably shouldn't be watching our podcast anyways. But if you're a consenting adult, check it out. It's a fun show that's absolutely ridiculous. It is ridiculous in the best kind of way. Like I said, I watched all of the first season. All the videos are, I think the longest one is 6 minutes long. and they tackle a bunch of random subjects, and there is like storylines that tie into it. Like there's one where Peepadoo, he becomes obsessed with a Japanese virtual like hentai video game thing, and he gets kind of like sucked into the world, and he isolates himself from everybody else, and it's kind of like talking about dealing with like porn addiction and stuff like that. And so it tackles like serious topics in a very outlandish, comical way. And I learned something interesting. Apparently, hentai in Japanese, actually referring to hentai, is actually talking about a person being a pervert. But the actual anime as being like pornographic is a whole different type of. I forgot what they call it, but hentai is a pervert, which makes sense in a sense of how.
Okay, never mind.
But no, like I discovered this from a YouTube video, Mrs. Eats, where she was talking about hentai actually means pervert. So if you're a creepy, weird looking dude trying to perv on women, you're a hentai. Learn something new every day. Bam. This show's fucking educational.
Educational.
Not just educational, fucking educational. Bam. Put that in your pipe and smoke it.
I'm just grabbing shit from my desk and celebrating with it. I gotta go. And so
I gotta go.
I'm honestly gonna say I'm feeling stuff. Do you feel anything with this?
Oh yeah, I'm catching a solid buzz. Now, granted, I will say, like in every episode, we reach into the bag of doom and we take our shot, which is whatever we find out of there, and then of course once the show officially starts, we do a shot and then whatever we're reviewing. So this gives you a nice solid buzz. I think it tastes better kinky. That's what this kind of reminds me of, is kinky. Because you know how kinky's super syrupy?
Exactly.
It's like kinky, but it tastes better. And oh my God, this bottle is sticky ass. So it is super sugary. So if you're drinking this, make sure you're drinking some water, because you're going to have a hellacious hangover if you're just drinking just straight Ty-Ku. Ty-Ku? Ty-Ku?
Ty-Ku.
Good. Ty-Ku. All right. The alcohol is bringing out my dyslexia.
Yeah. You just wanted to talk about Caillou.
Caillou. Just wanted to get into some good old-fashioned airbender.
Yeah. People don't like Caillou.
Really?
Yeah, I guess that's the thing. Like, people don't enjoy Caillou. Which is fine. Because I don't think Caillou was the greatest kid in the world. When I think back on it, it was not the best show. But I did get down to the theme song. Just all I can remember at this point is, it's Caillou, you know.
Ah, yes.
Twerking stanky leg to that. Whoever.
I never actually watched the show. I know I was thinking of Airbender.
I think you were past the age of Caillou, sir.
That's true. Like, I know of its existence. Oh, Maverick finally shows up to say Caillou fucking sucks.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, sir. Finally shows up just to spread his negativity.
He is the one who informed me that people hate Caillou so much. And also videos he showed me. I didn't know that people were just like, you know what, fuck Caillou. And now that I've been taught, I'm like, yeah, a little bit fuck Caillou. He was kind of an annoying child, but it's true. Caillou.
There's been many times I've revisited some stuff that I loved as a child and went, God, this fucking dude's annoying as shit. The fuck's his problem? Speaking of annoying shit. Sorry, go ahead. I'll go.
No. No, I
Okay.
like your segue. Let's move on.
Oh, speaking of annoying as shit, evangelical Christians. So, like I said, what led me down this rabbit hole of peepadoo is watching. I suggest checking it out. I don't know if anybody's grown up in like an ultra Christian household or a family, but I was watching a bunch of stuff by Fundy Fridays, and she talks a lot about these evangelical Christians, the Bakers, the Duggars. You know how TLC had a bunch of these like super Christian, or even they covered the sister wives, the Mormons. She covers all kinds of stuff. She had a whole episode about satanic churches and the whole satanic panic that happened in the 60s and 70s. She's got some fantastic stuff, and it started making me think about some of our upbringing. Well, not necessarily. It made me think about some of the Christian experiences.
I'm curious to hear what you say because I totally am like, I'm already.
So, like I was thinking about, like they were talking about one of the things that they like to do is a lot of these Christian things. They do these church camps where they bombard adolescents. Like their main age group that they focus on is between 10 and I think 15, and they do these church camp retreats, and they do a lot of stuff. They had a movie in 2007 called I think Church Camp or something like that. But a lot of the things that they do is they have you doing all these activities, and they bombard you with all these like different ceremonies and all this stuff. And at the end, they do something called was it cry therapy or whatever, and people start repenting their sins and all this stuff and all these things that have happened. And it's just it's a lot of like over like it's bombarding your senses just constantly over and over again. And then suddenly at the end of it, they have this cry therapy where you confess all your sins and everything you've done wrong, and you cry and you talk about all these experiences you had. And then I think about my church camp experience.
Oh my God, right? That is church camp to the every single fucking
Right.
church camp.
I came back, and it was because it's towards the end of it. Me and my friends all had this huge spiritual awakening. You know, we thought we were all being attacked by demons, and I gave a whole testimonial when I came back from the church camp. And I think about two things that have happened. Okay, first off, clearly I have an ego because I'm on this podcast, you know, talking about stuff, trying to entertain people. So obviously I like the spotlight on me. I love attention. Okay. So there's the first thing that I was just thinking about that hits on my personalities. I love attention. Do you remember how many testimonials and things I did in front of the whole church and got to say my piece and all that stuff? There's a lot of attention that got focused on me. And I soaked that shit up. Now, the other thing that happened is I remember there was one kid that was like, I don't know what you guys are talking about. I didn't experience any of that shit. And the more I've been separated from that moment of time, I think about that kid's experience who was in the same cabin as us and didn't experience any of the things that we experienced. He was brought along by a friend, and his friend was part of the church. He's like, I don't know what the fuck you guys are talking about. And part of the thing was he's also not fluent in English, so he couldn't understand a lot of the stuff that was going on. He could understand a decent amount, but not all of it. And that kind of allowed him to have some separation. But I think about all the shit that happened, and then I started thinking about all the other church experiences where they're talking about, like, do you remember when the Unitarian Church down the street released a news press saying that they support gay marriage, and then our church automatically decided they need to put out a news press saying they don't support gay marriage? And I just think about all these little things that have happened. Now, I'm not saying that there's not a God and there's not a lot of other things, because I honestly don't. I don't have a fucking clue. Like, I make the joke about being a orthodox agnostic. I really don't know. Maybe there is, but I do think a lot of this organized religion shit is fucking bullshit, and they're there to just form young minds to be, like Maverick says, very cultist, very cultiest.
Yeah.
And I just think about a lot of these things and just that church camp experience of being exhausted and suddenly all these things just suddenly happen. And you know, it just, some of that stuff stuck with me as a positive, but there was a lot of stuff that was just, I don't know, man. There was a lot of shit that happened that I just feel like was a slight manipulation on us. And watching some of the stuff that has happened, and I think back at some of the things that I've said and done, I kind of regret, like, when you're young and you have that certain opinion that's formed and thrusted upon yourself. I've said some stuff to some people that I thought was really shitty. Like, I remember basic training, somebody guy was saying that he was a Wiccan, and I feel bad because I kind of mocked him for being a Wiccan when I was going through this whole thing of wanting to be a Christian. And I think that was bullshit and shitty of me. And part of that is that, like, that little mentality that gets put into your mind by a lot of these evangelical Christian things, that if it's not of Christian morals or theology, you're wrong and you're an idiot and you're an asshole and you're fucking stupid. And I don't know. All that shit just kind of stuck with me. It just I don't know. It was like it's just this weird, like, a nagging thought that has kind of sat in my head. You know, I try to be the best person I can be. I don't always succeed. Sometimes I fail, and I feel like sometimes when I think back to when I was trying to be an ultra Christian and being the best person I can, I feel like I was a shittier person then than I am now.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's where a lot of this stuff comes from. Now, do I think all religion is bad? No. But do I think a lot of the indoctrination that happens through all sorts of organized religion? I think that's the bad part. Is to get caught up on these little rules. And a lot of those rules don't really have anything to do with the Bible or any religious theology. It's just stuff that they made up along the way. And they put their whole doctrine on that. Now, I feel like the whole thing about Christianity is about God is love and he's here to forgive and all this stuff. But yet, when you look at a lot of this mainstream theological Christianity, it's all about damnation and persecution towards other people. And that is where I think I have a lot of issue. Now that I went off on this long tangent that went all over the place, I don't know if there was a whole. It was just like a lot of stuff that just kind of came out in like a thing.
I think it's interesting because the Christian fundamental thing, I think, kind of, whether it was meant to or not, funneled over to our Baptist religion church stuff.
Yeah.
Is just some of the ideas did trickle into our mom. I don't think they're there so much now, but I do feel like we have a great aunt who is, well, I don't know if this falls under that, but she was very concerned that if she got the vaccine for corona, that she would be going to hell. So, that's just kind of where we come from. I guess just to explain is just that kind of thinking, those kind of things. It's just like, I don't know, some weird stuff. Now that I'm older, I think it's all kind of weird. Like, I have no problem with God. I love
Yeah.
God. God's a great dude. Not a great dude, but like good ideas. Like I don't
Well,
understand why people are like, oh, I don't know. I feel like we're falling into religious territory that I'm not sure I want to just like prance about in. And so I'm
oh,
like, I
we
don't know.
we've
Maybe I'll just chill out. But
I kicked us off of a cliff into that shit. I went off on all this stuff because like I said, I just I really think about what I was watching on the church camp stuff and just some of my experiences
church camps were crazy though. Like, cause I had I don't know, because most of the time there was this big, um, like feeling of that you needed to have some sort of emotional situation here.
experience.
Come in front of the stage, sit down, cry, do all this. And I don't know how many times I did. Like, if you feel like this is what's weighing on your heart, blah, blah, blah. And I did. And I came back and I brought people with me and I did that. But at the end of the day, I think it's just an overwhelming anxiety. Like, this was just like, fuck, I
I
need
do
to.
it. And then I think about one of the things that they were talking about is the main age groups that they focus on is between 10 and 15 years old. They really that's when you're really like you're hitting puberty, you're figuring stuff out, and there's so much raw emotions going through your body at that time. And if you can like overexpose and exploit that, it just
I just didn't fit in
it,
anywhere because I was also black, like one of the only
that's
like
true.
black people in the whole church.
Oh,
So to me, it's
eh,
like I there was a lot of pressure to fit in where I could when I could.
I haven't even touched in on some of the stuff that I recommend watching some of the videos for Fun Day Fridays. Fundy Fridays. She does her makeups and talks about fundamental Christians, and she talks about there is a lot of evangelical Christian based on racism, like creating schools. There's I don't even want to get into all that stuff. I'm just going off just the bare superficial. There's such a deep hole to fall into.
I would say I feel what you're feeling.
Yeah,
It's weird. I don't want to offend anybody. And I don't want it to become a rant on religion because who really cares?
yeah. I mean, ultimately, look, like, so I didn't get a chance to click on it, but animated objects. It was talking about, just basically, if you're a good person, you're a good person. You don't need, banners in the sky and what religion you follow and all that stuff. And then he was talking about they had a priest that stole like 10 grand for donations and moved to a different state, and a lot of that, like if you look at some of these like TV evangelists and stuff, I mean, there's that one guy, I think we talked about it in the podcast in an earlier episode, way early on, that was talking about he was raising funds because he felt as though Jesus wanted him to have a brand new private plane so he could spread the word of Jesus. And it just, that kind of shit just upsets me. Like I said, I have no idea if there's a God. I feel like there's some sort of larger deity. There's something bigger than us out there, but what that is, I don't know. I have no idea. So I'm peeling back the curtain of my gimmick, but that I just recently discovered because I am the Reverend JP. But I have no fucking clue. I have no idea. There's very possibly that Christian religion is correct. Maybe Buddhism is correct. Maybe fucking Allah is right. I don't fucking know. I have no idea. But a lot of the theology is kind of basis, and a lot of religion is based on us as human beings trying to give us justification on why things are. It's us dealing with our own existential crisis. That's where a lot of religion comes from, and then I feel like a lot of people exploit that for money and power. And then that's where we get into the big problems. And that's why organized religion is bullshit. And Diane, what'd you do? Your camera disappeared. Are you still there? Can you hear me? I hear noise. Can you hear me, Diane? I am going to just move me over. But yes, Buddhism does encourage you to ask questions and find out for yourself. And I think that's where a lot of organized religions fail. I think the most important thing to be able to grow and learn as a human being is to be able to question and figure out stuff for yourself. But just going to indoctrination and supporting your arguments with more arguments based upon a book that has no actual scientific proof, that's a whole different situation. I have no idea what's going on with Diane. But that is the biggest inherent problem with organized religion, is trying to, again, distracted by Diane's camera, I'm sorry. And this stuff is kind of starting to kick in. I'm going off on random rants. But yes, oh, there she is. Sorry. What the hell happened?
I had to pee so bad.
Oh, well, give us a fucking warning.
Well, you were having like a proper,
Oh, well, it derailed my thoughts. Yes, but
I didn't want to slow the show down just to be like, hey, pick this shit back up again,
Yeah, because I was like, oh, Dan, where'd you go? What happened? What? She just had to pee, guys. She had to pee.
No, I thought I could make it in the 8 minutes we have left now, but
oh, well. Either way, I guess the overall wrap of this is, if you are a Christian and you want to follow Christ, there's you don't need to be an asshole about it. Because like I said, the Bible does preach a lot of love, acceptance, and, caring towards man, not damnation, hatred, and, just condemnation towards people. There's a lot about growing and being better, and there's a lot of people that have spun a lot of shit in the Bible that just, to fit their own means. And that's kind of part of the problem too, is the Bible is written by man who's completely fallible. So who the fuck knows? Nobody knows what is really actually meant to be in there. Because supposedly what they say is God spoke to these people and they wrote it down. How do we know God's not speaking to people right now and saying, hey, you assholes, you're doing this shit wrong? We don't know. I don't know. Nobody fucking knows. But I'm just saying, I think the best way to go about is trying to be better people, love one another, accept one another, and quit being fucking assholes just because you're a different race, just because you're attracted to the same sex, different sex. As long as you're consenting adults doing things that you enjoy and it's fun and everybody's having a good time, just be respectful and love one another. The only way we're going to get better is by respecting each other. Everybody has differences of opinions. That there's no reason to be a fucking dickhead about it. I think that's the end of my rant. Don't be a dickhead. Love one another and say some funny ass shit. No matter what religion you're in.
Church camp will get you every time.
Church camp will sneak up on you. It'll get you in the butt. I still have that Bible quote sitting somewhere here in this house. I don't know which room it's in. It moves around.
Oh, dude, I had so much fun, but I would say there was a lot of emotional pressure. I used to go to church camp all the time. But I loved it because I got to hang out with people. But
Moonbeam is in here. Hello. Just once again at the end. I appreciate
she
you.
She makes the best bizcochos in the world.
Oh, does she? Oh, bizcochos.
Yes. Yes,
It's the wrong season now, though.
I don't know that you wanted it to be. Oh, when is there not a season for great bizcochos?
Well, that's true. I mean, every season is a good season for good food. So I guess you know what? I stand corrected. Diane, you're right.
Oh,
That's okay. No worries. I'm glad you joined us. Regardless, we had a long conversation about religion, about a thing called peepadoo, which is, and you'll have to go back and watch. But this bad boy right here, you can find it at bobbypills.com. It's a adult sex education is what they call it. We covered that. We got into all kinds of religious conversation. I went on a little rant. I went into full reverend form. We reviewed Ty-Ku, which I called Caillou for some drunken reason. It's fairly tasty. It's a good little liqueur. It's kind of like kinky, but I think it's a little bit better. It's very syrupy.
well, yeah, it'll get the job done.
Oh yeah, it gets the job done. I'm feeling a pretty solid buzz right now. It's pretty solid.
Yeah, probably could be. I haven't finished all mine, and you haven't finished all yours. But I would say that you need this amount though to get you there.
Yeah, this bottle
is not. This is a personal sized bottle.
exactly. This bottle is exactly the amount you need. Any more might be too much, and you're going to make bad decision.
Yeah, but this is not sharing size either.
No, this isn't a sharing size bottle. If you get a full fifth, it's worth getting. This is a 375 bottle. This is half. So, I mean, I'm enjoying myself. I'm going to drink the last of this because then a little bit here after we finish up with the podcast, I'm going to go race like a piss horse. And then I'm going to do some live streaming, doing some, I think I'm going to play some more Destroy All Humans, I think is what I'm doing. I want to try out my new setup here. For now, like I said, I'm probably going to have to take this desk apart or figure something out to make it more fitting for the two of us. Like I said, we were supposed to do this podcast tonight here in person, but I bought this desk and there's not quite enough room for two of us at it. So I'm going to have to do some changes. Happens. You know, try to upgrade, try to make some changes, make things better. And instead, I just fuck it up and got to go back to the drawing board.
Yeah, you just cut me out of the podcast. And
like, I put it together.
Maybe that's a sign. It's time you go solo.
No, I can't carry this on my own. Part of the whole thing is
the desk of destiny does not tell a lie.
the random bullshit. Oh, I won't abandon you. We'll be back. At least I'll be back later. I'm going to play some games. So I'll be back. I don't know what Diane's going to do, but this podcast is coming to a close. I tried to go over an hour and a half. Oh, now Extreme jumps in. Jesus Christ. Are we going to start doing this thing at 10 o'clock? Because everybody jumps in here at like fucking the last 5 minutes. Oh, I appreciate you guys jumping in. I do appreciate it, but you missed all. Don't worry about it, Moonbeam. I'm just going off on a little rant. But I appreciate you guys jumping. It's lots of fun. Like I said, we're trying to do this at 9. If it is better, I can push this back to 10. I can push it back to 10. Oh, wait. Throw up and get another bottle. The liquor store is closed. I can't go get another bottle.
These are cute though.
Yes. I do like these. This is definitely going to get rinsed off because it's sticky as fuck because there's a lot of sugar in throw up into the bottle. No, man, I had fajitas earlier. I think the fajita flavor might cause some problems. Well, like I said, if everybody in here wants us to start this at 10 o'clock, we can start it at 10. If all of you agree on 10 o'clock, we will do it at 10. Well, thank you. Thank you, Extreme. I know you're mostly talking about Diane because her face is much more beautiful than mine. I'm the ogre of the group.
Oh, stop it. We all tune in for you, even including
yes.
me. You stupid, decent to look at person.
Moonbeam's throwing a Bear Grylls reference at us. If he can drink his own piss, we can drink our own vomit liquor. I mean, we could. But I think that's a different episode. That's a different type of show. Maybe.
You know what? That's all I was looking for, all the inspiration I needed.
I already puked once on camera.
Let's do it.
I puked once on camera for this show.
You did.
I did.
You did, and that was amazing. Part of me went, now, Diane, are you doing the right thing by supporting your brother puking on camera? Maybe one day he won't want to do it, but also I was there just being like, I enjoyed watching you maintain the show by yourself. It was amazing.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't the official podcast. It was just a filler episode. Things were going on. And I puked.
You're the star of the show, and we love it. And when you puke, it's the best.
And Maverick was proud to be part of it. Oh, that was horrible, horrible wine. And drinking that horrible, horrible wine with those spicy chips was bad. As a matter of fact, you know what we're going to do? Oh, no, next week we'll have a plan. So next week, our plan is, so the song Shots by LMAFAO. We are going to break down that song and we are going to rank all the liquor they drink in that song in order. We're doing Ciroc. We're doing Patron. We're doing Kamikazes. We're doing Jello shots. We're going to fuck all that shit, and we're going to get some gin. All of it. We're doing all of it next week. Yes, but we're going to do it the cheapest way possible. Now, obviously, Ciroc and Patron, we're going to have to get the name brands because it's Ciroc and Patron. But everything else, we're going to make cheap Jello shots. So I still have a bunch of vodka, and I'm going to make Jello shots my way. If you go to the YouTube channel, I made Jello shots using wine instead of water, and then I did the vodka. Check it out at the Perico Productions YouTube channel. And we're going to do Jello shots that way, the right way, the strongest way. That's what we're going to do next week. Jello shots, Kamikaze, Ciroc, Patron, gin, whatever the other fucking Jaeger bombs. Buttery nipples. We're doing all of that next week. So next week, come check us out. We're gonna be party rocking, and I'm not gonna apologize for it. We're party rocking. It's we're getting down. We're getting down. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be shenanigans galore. We'll have our Florida man. We'll have some booze in the news. Yes, exactly. LMFAO. That's what we're doing. Next week, all of it. Shots. Shots. All of it. All of it. We're doing it here. Live for your amusement. Tell your friends. Tell your grandmothers. Just bring them. It'll be fun. And if you would like to join in this, you get yourself some Ciroc. Get yourself some Patron. Get yourself some Jello shots. Get whatever the hell you want to drink and join us. We're going to party rock like it's 1999. Yes, I just threw a Prince reference in there. Why? Why the fuck not? But this has been Best of the Bottom. Bottom class people drinking bottom shelf booze. I am the Reverend JP.
Damn.
And if you would like to check out all of our social medias, you can find it at pericoproductions.com. And we also have some merchandise, which reminds me, I need to get us some coffee mugs and some t-shirts from our merchandise, and we will wear it for you guys to see what kind of stuff we have produced. We have merchandise. If you would like to donate to help things roll, we'd appreciate that. If you want to be a subscriber on Twitch, that's definitely helpful. But if you're watching on YouTube, like, share, subscribe. That shit is free. And that helps us boost the algorithm, helps us to be able to grow and expand and make more fun, stupid shit for you guys. We just want to do stupid shit for you. Help us do stupid shit. Yeah. And the podcast is also... The podcast is also available on in an audio form only at bestofthebottom.podbean.com. And you can find us there. And you know what I forgot to tell you? Stand by for just a second. Diane, do something witty and amusing. I gotta get something real quick.
Witty and amusing. You know, not too long ago, I got up and ran to the bathroom, and I lost my phone, so I can't see your chats. So I don't know if any of this is being witty or amusing. But do you want to play Guess What's on the back of my dresser? Like, what's in my background, the dresser? I'm going to give you 5 seconds to kind of guess before I just tell you. Bing, 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 bing. Oops. Bing, 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 bing. Bing, 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 bing. If you guess the Punisher, an alien, a pharaoh head, and 2 living dead dolls, and a bunch of flowers my boyfriend gave me a while ago, you would be correct. What do they win, Justin?
Wait, what?
We did a contest.
We're doing a contest?
Yep. I bet at your house. I bet.
I missed. We talked about this earlier. What are we planning? Well, either way, if we do a contest, we'll give you some. We'll give you some merchandise from. What are we doing for the contest? Are we looking for viewers? What are we doing for followers? I just jumped in. You're making decisions without me knowing.
No, Justin. I asked them to figure out what was behind me.
Oh.
And they all nailed it, assumably, because I lost my phone when I went to the bathroom, so I can't see chat. So I just assumed, because I left my phone in the bathroom and I hurried up and came back because I turned my stuff off, so I could not see chat.
Okay. So, all right, here's what the chat says. Maverick says, Diane only stream. On the spot. Let's go. Penguin Diane's. How witty. What? Maverick sees a dildo. How amazing.
Which one?
I don't know. He said, or no. Maverick says one of them looks like a dildo. How amazing. a chalice, an alien candle,
Hey, Justin, you can
a
see
heart.
this. Which one's a dildo to you? If you had to guess which one looks like a dildo, which one?
I'm gonna say the pink dress wearing person. It looks very dildo-ish.
That is the most dildo-y shape.
Yes, and Narvik says the pink thing again.
it's a Bloody Mary Living Dead doll. You can't tell because
yes,
the light does not allow, but that is a Bloody Mary Living Dead doll.
Okay, but what I ran off to get is
look, Maverick, you won that, or whoever. Anybody wants it, you can have it.
That's a giveaway.
That's a surprise. What looks more like a dildo? There you go, you won.
Oh, and the flowers can be a dildo too if you're brave. I mean, honestly, what can't be?
Fight over the living dead doll prize because you both won.
But I ran off to get, so I'm been asked to do a review of this little thing from Smooth My Balls. So we're going to be doing a review, and it looks like this is going to be our first sponsorship for Smooth My Balls. So there will be a review coming very shortly. The trimmer came in the mail the other day. I just haven't got a chance to do it, and it's pretty quiet. But this will be getting reviewed here very shortly, and it's got some skin-safe situations here as opposed to a lot of your other razors. So I'm going to give it a try. We are going to make things smooth as butter, and that is going to be reviewed very shortly. So that's the exciting thing coming up. That's what I want to get. Yes, that could also be used as a dildo too. I don't know. Everything could be. Everything's a dildo. Put the bottom
part in?
Yeah, I mean...
E2G.
Like what I said, what can't be a dildo? What can't be?
That's going to be our first commercial. Shave your balls or use it as a dildo.
I hope. We'll see.
Also, I'm sure it is it waterproof. Do you know
it's water resistant and everything else. So, like I said, I'm going to
probably vagines too, right?
Yeah, why not? I have, like I said, I just barely got it. I have done nothing with it. It's in the box. I just need to make sure it's fully charged. Going to give the full review here within the upcoming days. It'll be uploaded to all the social medias. So stay tuned. I just want to say that's the exciting thing that's going on this day and age. But once again, this has been Best of the Bottom. We're bottom class people drinking bottom shelf booze. I'm the Reverend JP. This is Diane. You know where to find us right here on Twitch at twitch.tv/bottom class every Mondays at 9 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. We'll also be putting up on replays on YouTube at Perico Productions YouTube channel. And then we also have Best of the Bottom podbean.com. You can find the audio versions of this podcast, and there are some other videos. I've been doing some bottom class drink specials. I have another coming up very, very soon, and I appreciate you guys for joining us. And in the meantime, I'm gonna find a streamer to raid. But like I said, like, share, subscribe, join this family. We love you guys. Just bring it in. And we will see you next week. Tastes pretty good.